Fear is a ghost wearing the mask of truth. It creeps into your life silently, whispering ancient warnings into your modern mind, convincing you that danger exists where there is only possibility. But the truth is this: fear was never yours. You were not born with it. It was gifted to you by parents who worried, by teachers who shamed, by experiences that branded the illusion of weakness onto your soul. Every time you failed a test, were laughed at in class, ignored in a group, or told to be realistic, you were trained to fear, trained to doubt, trained to shrink. And so, over time, you stopped dancing in public. You stopped speaking your truth. You stopped standing tall in your own name. But if fear was taught, it can be unlearned. If fear was inherited, it can be returned. You see, fear isn't who you are. It's who you were programmed to be. You weren't born afraid of people, of judgment, of failure. A baby doesn't hesitate to cry in front of a crowd or reach out for what it wants. That fearless energy is still within you, buried under years of mental noise. And the only reason fear continues to control your life is because you've mistaken it for a wise teacher. But fear is not wise. It is ancient, reactive, blind. It is the voice of survival, not the voice of truth. In a modern world where your life isn't at risk for being yourself, fear is outdated. It's a broken compass, and as long as you keep letting it lead, it will take you in circles around your own potential. The first step to destroying fear is to look it in the face and say, "You are not mine. You are not me. You're just a habit that ends now." To destroy fear, you must not fight it. You must expose it. When something is real, it doesn't run from light. But true fear cannot survive clarity. It needs confusion. It needs you to overthink, to run, to hesitate. So the way you defeat fear permanently is not through violence or resistance, but through understanding. Begin with this question: what exactly am I afraid of, and why? Write it down. Say it out loud. Make it visible. Most of the time, fear is nothing but fog. You think you're afraid of failure, but what does failure actually mean? Losing money, being judged, feeling shame. And what if you felt all that and still rose again, stronger? You fear being rejected, but what if rejection is just redirection? What if every no was actually life saying not here, not yet? The more you break fear into pieces, the smaller it becomes. You start to see its machinery, the mental rehearsals of worst-case scenarios, the exaggerated what-ifs, the looping of ancient memories, all of it running like background noise, unchecked. But when you turn the volume down, when you stop feeding it, something wild happens. Fear dissolves, not gradually, but instantly. Because fear is no substance. It's made entirely of thought. It exists in a time that isn't real, the future or the past. But in this present moment, in the now, fear is powerless. When you drop your attention into the now, into your breath, your senses, your presence, you step outside fear's arena completely. You become the watcher, the awareness behind the noise. And from that place, you cannot be touched. Fear only controls those who are hypnotized by it. But you, when you see it for what it is, you become untouchable. That is how you destroy fear, not by fighting the shadows, but by turning on the light. Once you've unmasked fear, once you've seen its tricks, you are left with a choice that changes everything. You can go back to the prison cell, or you can walk into the unknown and never look back. This is where most people hesitate, not because fear is returned, but because freedom feels unfamiliar. When you are no longer afraid of speaking, acting, creating, or being seen, you realize just how many doors you've kept shut. But here's the final secret. Destroying fear isn't just about courage. It's about identity. You must become someone fear cannot follow. You must reinvent yourself at the core. Let go of the version of you who was always cautious, polite, quiet, obedient, invisible. Bury that version. Hold a funeral if you must. Because the real you, the unchanged you, is ready to rise. A version of you who doesn't just tolerate discomfort, but seeks it out, knowing that it's the birthplace of evolution. A version of you who understands that the only fear worth listening to is the fear of dying with your soul unopened. That version of you walks differently, speaks differently, makes decisions not from avoidance, but from alignment. And when fear tries to return, and it will, like a ghost knocking on a door that no longer exists, you won't argue with it, you'll smile. Thank it for its concern and walk right past it into the life it tried to block. Because now you know, fear isn't a wall, it's a mirror. And you've smashed it, you've walked through it, and you are no longer who you were. You are bold, you are free, you are alive in a way that few people ever dare to be. From this moment on, you are untamed, unshaken, and unlimited. Fear is not welcome in the house you're building, and it never will be again.